Welcome everyone back to Blaze of Cruelty. It's session 16. Session 16.
Wow.
Wow. Wow, everybody.
16 whole sessions.
Wow. So last we left off, you guys were in the graveyard, heading towards one of the crypts. Dominic was temporarily sick. He has since recovered, and you guys were ambushed by a group of zombies, slew them without fail or problem, and you did a shopping episode before that. It was basically a lot of shopping, and then you went to the graveyard. You still have not found your quarry, Calvin Ariash. You have crippled the cult, as far as you're aware, by destroying many of their men in your raid several sessions ago on their their apparent headquarters. And you have rescued Sorvak. Not that he needed rescuing, but you found him and then helped him complete his quest and returned the fiddle to the composer, Emilia Masters. That's sort of a short rendition of what happened the last few episodes.
Don't you mean stringy music box?
Stringy music box, yes, that's what I mean. And Gawain got a steed from the Fine Steed spell. That steed is named Crimson, and it's a big, old red Corinthian griffin.
He's only had Crimson for a day, but if anything happens to him, he would kill everyone in this building and then himself.
Mm.
Or just summon him again, whichever.
Whichever's easier.
Yeah.
Alright, well, with that in mind, Dominic arrives on scene, and the scene is yours.
Okay, so Piper, we were heading for one of your crypts, I believe.
She says, yes, we were definitely heading towards one of the crypts. Just let me get my bearings real quick, and I will lead us in that direction.
Sounds lovely.
Gawain says to Dominic, did you remember that either of us can cure diseases?
Yeah. But I feel like we should talk about the bird in the room.
Oh, that's Crimson. He's a friend.
Right.
I cast a spell and summoned him. I imagine you can do the same.
Well, you know what they say about assuming.
He pulls out the D&D rulebook and he shows Dominic Fine Steed. No, I'm kidding. Don't know how to cast a spell that allows you to summon a steed. I assumed our skill sets were similar. I apologize.
Dominic, if you want to change your prepared spells around, you can. You may prepare up to 6 spells a day.
I wonder if I can cast Frenzy on the Griffin.
Unholy Frenzy, so I've changed Unholy Frenzy since the last time you've cast it.
Oh yeah, it was a bit wrong.
It was a bit a lot. So it still functions that way on Undead. And on Fiends, it does even better. For all other creatures, you can select a number of creatures up to half your proficiency modifier. The movement speed of these creatures is now doubled for the next minute. In addition, they gain an additional attack if they take the attack action. The spell only lasts for 1 minute, and once the spell's ended, these creatures suffer a level of exhaustion. And then for the caster, if the spellcaster is not an evil-aligned creature, they must make a sanity saving throw to cast this spell. The DC is 15. Upon failure, the spell only affects the caster, so you might wind up just blasting yourself with it.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, you can swap around your spells if you feel the need.
Yep.
She says, let me go ahead and consult my maps and stuff. And she's going to sit here for a moment and consult her maps and stuff. She says, okay, there are 2 crypts that we have not been in. And they are this way. And she will lead you guys to one of the 2 crypts. I would like someone to roll a die for me, even or odd. Will determine which crypt you guys go to.
Which one? D6?
Doesn't matter.
Also, point of clarity, she's not leading. She is directing, and I am leading. We do
Okay.
not put her in front.
Okay.
Not after getting ambushed by things.
That corpse being trapped with a rune bothers me.
Okay, let me just make sure this is ready for us. Yes, it is.
Vera shakes off some of the cold and says, yeah, it bothers me too.
Crimson cannot fit down the stairs. Who would like to descend the stairs into the crypt first?
Gawain tells Crimson to stay behind, stay as close to here as he can without being at risk, and take Piper back to town if she runs up because of danger. I mean, he understands. You know, Gawain will take point. He's a big, beefy boy.
Okay. Next up.
Brienne will follow Gawain.
Okay. Next
I'll
up.
go in the middle.
Middle.
Alright, in that case, I'm going last. Protect the flank.
All right.
Second to last.
All right.
So Piper's in the middle with Mayhem.
Yes. Dominic, shouldn't you have dark vision? You should, yes.
I
Okay.
do.
Your token needs fixing then. Oopsie. Update token. There we go.
I have a handy imaginary friend who grants me dark vision.
Mm-hmm.
It's very dark down here.
Yes, you've entered a dark chamber. These walls are primitively cobbled together, and it is difficult to see in general. It is about probably as deep as the Undercity, maybe like 40 or 50 feet.
Do we want to be noticeable or do we want to be stealthy?
Are any of us particularly good at stealth?
Yeah,
No.
let's just go straight forward.
Okay. Dancing lights.
All right, it's 2 paladins, a barbarian, a warlock bard, and a fighter walk into a bar. All right.
Yeah, I feel like trying to be stealthy is just a way to get yelled at.
Dancing light.
No, don't go in there. No, don't yell at these people. No.
Dancing light. Dancing light.
I also would like to draw my weapon for a extra 10 feet of light.
Okay. You draw your weapon. Let's see. Tears has blue light for 10 feet.
I forget if my sword puts off light. Let me check. It's radiant enchanted.
It should.
Doesn't say.
It
Oh,
should.
okay.
Radiant. Yeah, it should if it's already been enchanted. So let me go ahead and do that.
Yep.
Light 10 feet. It is. Fucker.
Mhm.
Nice. Like.
Mine probably should then too.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, all of yours weapons are enchanted. Yeah. So it should put off some light.
So much cooler than a torch. It's like walking in
Yeah.
the mines of Moria with your fucking elven sword drawn.
Let's see here. You've got a radiant battle axe there.
Uh-huh.
Which I gotta fix the name of it.
I mean, we're basically just a rave party. I mean, all of our weapons glow. We have
Rage
multiple
party in a
casters
dungeon
who
near
can
you.
do, dancing lights and multicolors. Like,
And you've
Real
got
quick,
one,
someone
two
someone tell
Dark
Mayhem. Someone tell Mayhem to bark Darude Sandstorm.
it's such a good one. Though I do also really like Crab Rave.
True, but Darude Sandstorm is funnier.
It is. This is true. It is.
Remember, I'm a bard. I can play music.
Play
That's
Freebird.
okay. Not right now though, because we're going into a tomb.
Yes.
So you can see quite far. Now that you guys are in here and you're poking around.
Oh, look. More
More what?
more crypts.
Yeah, more crypts.
Some of which have been disturbed. Yay.
There's blood this way.
Well, that's
Hey,
not good.
Piper, I found a book.
She says, okay. And she maneuvers around in the dark there,
I stay close to her, so
following you guys, because
There should be my dancing lights, too.
Yes. Did you want to move them? I'm gonna move them for you.
Well, they should be casting some light around the area.
Yeah, they were. Where they were. They're now here, here, and here.
Don't
That
you get
works, that way-
four?
What'd you say?
Don't you get 4 lights?
Yeah, I
I'm-
do.
4, yeah. 4 lights. My bad. Here's a 4th light. Boop.
Wow, he just Picarded it.
Yeah. Okay, so she goes up to this book and she takes a look at it real quick. She's, oh, this is written in High Cruic. Fairly recent then. And she is going to... go ahead and start copying it in. But this is Tome 1, Sorath Crypt 2, and I will make that available for you.
Yay.
So, Observer. Tome 1, Sorath Crypt 2, and I will read it for the benefit of the stream. A tome lays upon a stone table. It is in decent shape. The language it is written in is also a recent form of High Cruic. It appears to be musings. Begin with the hours before the rising of the sun. Search not for it in the sky, as it is still the middle night, the time where evil breaches into the world. The villagers bathe in garlic water, salt water, or water blessed by followers of the light. They light their windows and doors with candles and lamps. This keeps the spirits of the night at bay for a time. It is not those specific things that hold the spirits at bay. They have no allergy to sulfur or iron. They hold no hatred of garlic. It is the improvement those things bring to oneself, or rather one's own mind's defenses, that protect one from the intrusions the spirits bring. The next passage remarks on local demonic phenomena. I had known at the time something was profanely wrong, as the sky opened up in thunder and rain. The air filled with the scent of copper and iron. The downspouts of the town ran with blood, and the waterways were tainted with it, until such a time as the foulness had been washed away. It was only later, a fortnight hence, that we saw the bodies displayed from Ariane's drop, that I was sure what had occurred. Magister Greeley had summoned a demon using his own son for the fuel flesh. The boy had been riddled with a pox and was as a vegetable, living but without response. The why I do not believe I will ever know, but the how we investigated and found the truth to be too horrific to record. We burned the house to the ground. The final passage is written in an anxious or fearful hand. Greeley was only the beginning of the problem. There are dozens of them. The wilds outside the town's walls are no longer safe, even during the day. They brazenly walk in the open, mocking our archers upon the walls. Many bestial demons had been summoned the night of sanguinary rain. The undead in the graveyard and Undercity are agitated. They wander from their tombs as if they know somehow that something is wrong. Their ancient desire to defend their master's final resting place is aggravated by the invaders. I've seen skirmishes. The profane regularly destroy the undead. That is until a different demon showed up. Its shape was less horrific and unnatural. It looks like a human child. Its eyes burned with a red light, and it had a tail, horns, and membranous wings. That is when everything had turned for the worst, and the guardian undead turned on us.
CJ, we've lost you.
Oh, did you?
I can still hear him.
I can still hear him too.
Reinforcements from Fordeath are days away. I'm not sure we will hold out much longer. The child demon is a harbinger of doom.
That sounds ominous.
That was recent?
It is in a more recent version of High Kruik. She says this is probably referencing a historical event. Probably, let me see. Let me just take a look at my notes real quick here. She says as she opens up her book, and she says, in the, couple hundred years ago, there was a demonic invasion prior to the current one. It was, let's see here. Let's see. Took place in roughly I want to say at 833 or something. 838. Demons were all over Cruelty. Maybe like 800. So, well within your lifetime, Lady Rianne. I think she's completely lost audio. Sin, are you there?
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Hmm.
So Mayhem's just kind of sitting here, waiting for something to happen. He's being a good boy. His tail's brushing the floor, back and forth.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes,
We can hear you now.
Yes.
Ah. Okay, out of game question. Would Rianne have been around in this area for that? I assume that would have made all the news.
Yeah, you probably were, moving around with the military, slaying demons at the behest of those forces. You probably could have been through this area more than once. This was a couple hundred years ago. It started in around 800 when demons resurfaced from the prior demonic invasion. So the prior demonic invasion was in the early 500s. Probably beginning a little bit before that. And these demons from that prior invasion resurfaced in around the year 800 in the cities of Morith and Innersford, which are not specifically close to Sorath, but close enough that they're more or less in the middle of the country. It's not like it was a external invasion like this one, like the Talian Crusade is. They just popped up, and that caused a lot of problems, and after they popped up, they spread out, and it became hard to hunt them down and destroy them all. It got so out of hand over the next 90 years to 100 years that eventually there was an angelic intervention that destroyed the demons, and the various cities started rebuilding. So from about 800 to 900, the year 900, it was just a mess of roaming demons, pillaging and burning villages as they got strong and were able to gather troops. It was a very dark time, that century between 800 and 900.
I'm sure it was. Was there ever official notice of what caused them to spring out?
Not really. Summoning of demons was outlawed 3 years after it was quote-unquote discovered. You recall, summoning of demons has been illegal for as long as you can remember. Brienne's not that old in comparison.
Well,
she's, 300 something?
Yeah, 300 and I think 58 now.
Yeah. So she's not as old as to have remembered when demons were being outlawed. It's the 1040s, right? So about 358 years ago, 682. She was probably born around the assassination of King Rolas, which was in the year 700. Probably a little bit before that. But before then, demons were summoned all the time. They were bound into books. They were bounded to little areas to control them, to pull information from them about how magic works and about various other things that people can learn from them about. That used to happen all the time, and that led to a massive demonic invasion in where Valcahal is right now. And that started that whole off again, on again, just demons cropping up here and there, everywhere, here and again, because that invasion was less hands-on than this one. That one was more, okay, we're gonna influence these mages, and we're gonna have them summon these demons or these cultists, and they're gonna do the same, and that's gonna cause us to meet our goals from the demonic point of view. Tal's crusade is totally different. He is doing full extraplanetary invasion. His troops are marching straight out of gates, no summoning required. It's worse on a lot of levels. The prior invasion was bad because they could just show up anywhere. Now they can just show up anywhere, and they're coming in force. So, but that, you know, to provide context, this book's probably like 200 years old, 300 years old.
Well, what's nagging at me and Rianne is the reason, you know, that was so unspeakable. It wasn't worth writing. It was too horrible to write down. You know, did anybody find out why?
Piper shrugs.
That's not helpful.
She's like, I don't know what to say. They didn't
I
record
know.
the why or the how.
I know, just not helpful. Is there anything else in this room we need to search?
Well, she looks around. Some interesting sarcophagi, but not really anything out of the ordinary from what I'd expect for a crypt this old.
Do you have all the notes you want from the book?
Yes, she has copied the text.
Okay. Has the game master tied the magical dancing lights to my character icon yet?
Oh, do you want control over them?
No, I just thought it would be easier for you if it was tied to it when I was moving around.
No, they can't be tethered that way, unfortunately.
Can I do a perception on this hallway that we're looking down?
Sure, yeah. Make a perception check. What you got there? 18?
I'm looking to see if it's been recently traveled, what I can see down the halls, if there's anything that kind of looks out of place besides this big blood splatter.
Okay, so good call. So there is a tripwire here that you see with your perception check. The blood is relatively fresh, and just eyeballing the wall next to this blood spot right here, you can see that it got chipped by a projectile, likely an arrow. So, and someone's been by, at least to collect whoever got wounded or the ammunition that got fired. Also, there's a relief on here.
Gawain examines the relief.
Okay.
Before he steps forward, I'm going to point out what I've discovered about the tripwire and the wall, so he doesn't go too far forward.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. Would it be possible to trigger the tripwire with a ranged attack?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Well, before we do that, we should wait for the others.
Yeah, true. While waiting for the others, Gawain is going to examine the relief.
Okay.
Well, do we want to, we should probably check this room too?
Okay.
Should I roll anything in particular to check it?
No, it is in an old version of Cruelty, but it's still legible. On the wall, there's a relief carving of a scene, a walled city with the word Sorath underneath it. On the left, there is an army of profane bestial shapes, and on the right, there is an army of humans. Below, both armies fight. The text at the bottom reads as follows in an older version of Cruelty. Buried here are the heroic dead that defended Sorath. They fought to the very last and won the day. None survived.
Well, I think that relates to the book that we found earlier.
Yes, so this is Relief 1, Sorath Crypt 2.
Also, you can never really trust these reliefs. I mean, someone had to survive to create the relief, right?
Or someone from outside the battle made it.
Right. They're always exaggerating in these ancient texts. Oh, it was the end of the world. Oh, it was a demon army.
Piper looks at him, recalling that there is a literal demon army invading her country.
Yeah, Gawain's kind of giving him the stink eye about that too.
Dominic shrugs.
Considering his goal here is to gain strength to fight the demons.
Anyways, I am trying to walk in, but I get the error token collide. Like there's an invisible wall.
Yes. Sorry. Apologies. Go ahead.
Anything of in here?
Would you like to make a perception check?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, it's perception this time.
Okay, let's see what you can see. Alright, well, you can see this guy. Is that a 14?
Oh, yay.
Yeah, you can see this guy too.
He's just chilling.
You can definitely see this guy.
Pretty social. He's just chilling.
It's a social worker.
Now you can see this guy.
That's positive.
Okay.
All of them have a name except for the one at the top.
Sorry, what?
All of them have a name except for the one at the top.
Oh, he's the unanticipated skeleton mauler. He's unanticipated.
I see.
What color are their eyes?
Yeah, they're bright red.
Okay.
Well, that takes care.
And we're gonna go ahead and roll
That answers the
initiative.
Yay.
Do. Roll NPCs.
I rolled okay.
Nice. It's gonna be a good night for Vera.
Yeah, getting the ones
Why
out
didn't
before
it
it's
roll?
getting the ones out before it's important could be a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, yours won't roll, Sin?
No, I hit it. Just nothing happened.
There you go. 11.
All right, thank you.
Rolled a 9, got an 11. Conspiracy.
Uh-huh.
Alright, James. You see these skeletons. Rianne start to notice these skeletons around the room. And as she notices them, they begin to move.
We have company.
All right. I'm gonna point my sword at the closest one, which is the one without a name for me. Yeah, that one.
He's too mysterious.
He hasn't been anticipated.
Yeah, I'm just gonna point my sword at him and blast him in the face.
Blast him!
So anyway, I started blasting.
Nice shot. 15 hits. Dealing 12 points of damage. You blow off his shoulder armor, disintegrating part of his left arm. He still has that maul in his hands.
Hopefully not for long, because seeing as I am 5th level, I can do a second blast.
You blast him again! Hits. 9 points of damage. You blow a hole in his chest, and it still is active. Purple smoke wafts out of the hole. It's at the end of your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a step or two back.
Okay.
Standing right here.
All right. Skeleton shambles out from behind the sarcophagus, and then it charges at Rianne. And it's going to take its action to move forward. Piper is going to take cover next to the spider web. A skeleton mage.
May not be the brightest idea, but good for her.
Yeah, a skeleton mage
Oh.
pops up from behind a sarcophagus. And is going to cast Grease. Closer first. Right there on you. You need to make a dexterity saving throw, Rianne.
Okay, give me a moment. Thanks. Why are you being obnoxious today? Close.
You succeed. You do not fall prone. A bubbling
good.
grease kind of like rises out of the floor around you, a little bit and a little bit behind you. And definitely slick as you're kind of like shifting to sort of keep the skeleton who's jabbing at you to see where the holes in your defenses are. As you're shifting to like dodge its attacks and fence with it a little bit with your axe, you realize that the ground below you is now very slick, and you adjust to compensate. Dominic, it is now your turn. You hear Eldritch blasts in the other room.
Alrighty.
Just noticed it's a baby skeleton.
Yes, he is. He's like 3 baby skeletons stacked up in a row. Yeah.
Ew.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm gonna cast my spell on myself.
You're gonna cast Unholy Frenzy on yourself. Okay. So you are a creature other than the ones listed. Because you're only casting it on yourself, you do not have to make a sanity saving throw. You gain an additional attack if you take the attack action, and your movement speed has doubled for the next minute. So 10 rounds.
I was really just doing it for the sanity saving throw.
Oh, were you? Did you want to make the save anyway?
Yes, please.
Okay. Go ahead.
I want that sweet, sweet sanity.
A 10 is a failure. It is a DC 15. So, and you failed it by more than 5. So, your sanity goes down by 1.
Well, there's always next time.
Yes. Your grip on
Okay.
reality slips a little bit further.
Let's rush head first into this area.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You get 60,
Go.
60 walking feet
I'm gonna go straight into the
into the grease.
forefront here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Make a dexterity saving throw. DC 12. Okay, yeah. As you hit the grease, you kind of skate it to the edge there.
All according to plan.
So that's your movement and your action, because the spell was an action.
Yep. And that'll be turn here, I guess.
Okay.
Doing little figure eights in the grease.
Yeah, the windmill, the arm windmill.
Yeah. Skeleton sits up out of this cobwebs that cover the ground, revealing itself. Stands up and shoots at Rianne because she's closest. Crits.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
son of a bitch.
Dealing 15 points of piercing damage. You're focused on the guy in front of you, and an arrow hits you right underneath the armpit, going deep into your chest. Incredible
Ow.
pain. It's Mayhem's turn now. Mayhem, sad faces and not sure what to do. Doesn't want to leave Piper alone.
That's because he's the best boy.
He is the best boy, so he's going to stay here.
Okay, so Gawain is going to risk the grease. And he's going to move 20 feet in this direction and
Dexterity saving
make
throw.
my dexterity saving throw.
Okay, you succeed.
With panache, I guess.
Yeah.
Just leaps over the grease instead of skating across it, I guess.
Sure, yeah.
And then he just starts wailing on the archer skeleton. First attack is 18. 18 damage.
Yeah, 18 points of damage. You cut through its... This isn't the one. Yep, okay. You cut through its defenses. It raises an arm to block your attack. It doesn't really have any weapons other than a dagger that it didn't bother to achieve. And its other arm is holding the bow. You slash into it with your sword, cracking through one of the bones, the ulna, and slashing it down the front, causing serious damage to it.
He reels back and then he takes an overhead swing at it. Another 18.
18 hits. Destroys
17
it.
damage this time.
It is dead.
Yeah, you can't really do anything else this turn. I don't think lay on hands is a bonus action or anything.
I don't believe so.
Yeah. So yeah, he just turns, looks at the one that Rihanna's facing down. Says, "Are you all
Well,
right?"
there's also the one across the
Oh yeah, I have 10 feet of movement left.
there's the one right in front of you.
So he won't provoke an opportunity attack since he's not leaving this one's range of attack, will he? Okay. So he shifts across the coffin, and now he's facing down the social skeleton warrior.
The social skeleton kind of like puts a hand out to shake your hand.
Gawain gives him a high five.
Okay, he takes it. Yeah, Rianne, it's your turn.
It's my turn. You know, we are not a happy camper. We are going to swing at the guy in front of us.
Okay. 18 hits. Points of damage. Still up.
Going to swing it. It's gonna swing again.
Mhm.
A back and a front and a back.
This one's poised, so no matter what you're doing, he looks good doing it.
Yep.
Yep.
10 misses.
Son of a monkey. Okay. That's my action.
All right.
Your casa.
That is
Or
the end of your-
skeletons.
Yep, skeletons. The unanticipated skeleton walrus turn. He's
I didn't anticipate him.
No, you didn't. He's gonna move this way and stand here. He's gonna attack James. With his maul. Oh, it's 7 misses. Unfortunate.
Fortunate for us.
Yep. This skeleton is considerable. It pops out here, moves 10 feet this way, and then takes cover behind this sarcophagus. And then it fires at Dominic. It's a long bow. 14 misses. Social skeleton warrior, after you high five him, tries to stab you.
Rude.
Hits
But
with
not
a
on me.
23.
At least it wasn't a nat 20.
Yeah. 7 points of piercing damage as he stabs you.
You, sir, are an asshole.
It nods. Vera, your turn.
I am going to move to here. I'm gonna attack the one in front of me.
One space forward would be a flank.
Yeah, I'll do that. Good call. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna hit it.
Oh.
I'll take the natural
Ooh.
20, please.
Yeah, a critical hit right there. Super nice.
Nice.
43 points of damage. You get the swing on that thing, take its head off. The radiant light of your sword burns through its body, reducing it to nothing but ashes.
Great. I'm gonna keep
Nice.
moving. Now, I was angry. I saw you get hurt. So I've moved 5, 10, 15, 20. I can move another 20. So, 25, 30. Is this a thing right here?
That one's a skeleton, yes.
That's the one that,
If you go one further, if you can, we'll have him flanked.
yeah, I need to count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. I can't.
Well, you
Go
could have
up-
stepped
Okay.
from here to here, so that would have been 35, and then 40 to here.
Gawain killed the
You're
one that
right.
got her, for the
Yeah.
record.
You're right. Yeah, but, you know. Alright, well, rinse repeat then, is what will happen.
Hopefully.
23 hits.
Mega damage.
16 points of damage, destroying it.
Mm-hmm.
You cut it down
And
from
that's-
behind.
And that's with outrage.
Yep.
She ain't the big mad yet.
Nope. I mean, pretty mad, but end of turn.
Okay. This skeleton mauler charges, ambling over the sarcophagus, dashing for another 30 feet. Bringing us to James.
James is going to move a little bit more up.
Okay.
Takes a good aim with his sword at the skeleton mage.
Alright.
And you know the drill by now, Eldritch Blast.
Okay, let's see here. Counterspell. So as you go to cast your Eldritch Blast, you see the magic fade from your weapon.
Huh. Not what I was expecting.
Counterspell's a reaction. It only has one reaction.
But that's spent James's action.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't get 2 Eldritch Blast attacks in your attack action. It comes with the spell. You fire 2 bolts with the spell. You roll them separately, but you fire the 2 bolts with the same spell.
Oh yeah, I feel dumb now. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's an easy thing to kind of like shuffle up in your head.
Yeah.
The spell, when he's at 5th level, creates 2 beams because he snuck the spell. He didn't get to finish casting the spell at all.
Okay,
So
that's
action.
fair.
Yeah.
However, it has used a spell slot, we can
Yes.
assume.
Yes.
And Eldritch Blast is a cantrip, so it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Right.
Yes?
Yes.
That's true.
Right.
Very true.
So when it comes to spell fuel, James lost nothing but an action, but the skeleton mage lost a 3rd level spell.
We should attack the skeleton mage, though.
Is that the end of your turn, James?
Yeah, he's gonna keep watch of the skeleton mage.
God, that's such a bad trade. That's like trading a bishop for a pawn.
He's gonna what?
I think they said watch the skeleton mage.
Okay. Is that the end of your turn then?
Yeah.
Alright. So it is now Piper's turn. She whispers to Mayhem, "It's okay, boy. I think they're doing fine." She pokes her head out. "Yeah, they're doing fine." She pokes her head back in.
Poor Piper.
The skeleton mage is going to drop grease.
You should pick that back up.
And is going to cast. Going to cast Crown of Madness on Brienne. DC 12 wisdom saving throw, Brienne.
Okay. Saving throw.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, no.
I like that spell.
you passed. It tries to take control of your mind, which would have caused you to fight your friends, but you shrug off the effects of the spell as your vision begins to fill with your friends becoming skeletons as well. It clears after a moment, you exerting your will over yourself and are unaffected. Dominic, it's now your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna circle around.
That's 35 feet right there. That's a little far.
Oh, I think my movement speed's doubled, isn't it?
Oh, it is. That's right. From Frenzy.
Yep.
From Unholy Frenzy.
And I'm gonna just wail on this mage.
Okay. Uh, 19 hits. Points of damage. You cut almost completely through this thing. It is barely standing.
Well, we're gonna finish this guy off. Maybe.
13
Now-
does hit.
Now I understand why it counterspelled my cantrip.
Yeah.
It is fragile. You destroy it.
And turn.
Mayhem's turn. He is going to poke his head in and move up to Rianne there and use his Lick Wounds feature.
Aw, he good boy.
Yeah, and to do some healing on Rianne, giving you 4 hit points back.
I will take that happily. Thank you very much.
Gawain's turn.
Gawain is going to attack the asshole skeleton.
Right, the social skeleton warrior, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, first roll.
Hits. It hits. 20 points of damage, annihilates it immediately. It just gives you the finger as it explodes in a fury of light and bones.
So, the Zweihander R2 attack in the original Dark Souls.
Sure, yeah.
That's what he does. Just overhead lays the Great Saber into it, and then he moves over to this one. Just moves 5 feet. Actually, he's not moving out of its range, so
Yep. There you go. Tactics.
And then he's just gonna attack this one.
Remember, you have advantage.
Yep.
That hits.
Non-natural 20. Oh. Just 17 damage.
Yeah, destroys that one too.
Same thing, the second hit of the Zweihander R2. And that's the end of his turn.
Okay, Rianne, your turn.
Rianne is going to move over to here
Okay.
and try and take out this archer.
Alright. Ooh. Natural one.
Nope. Miss. Gonna try again. I have 2 attacks.
Oh, hell
Wow. Wow. Okay.
yeah.
1 in 400 chance. Alright.
Yeah.
Just roll that damage, please. Just
I'm trying. Yeah, my thing disappeared. Where did my thing go?
it should be on the chat card.
It should be, but it disappeared. That skeleton, and it's gone.
Here, I'm just gonna power through it there for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, 42 points of damage.
Eat blessed steel.
It explodes in a shower of light and bones. I believe that
Good.
is all of the skeletons. It is. Okay.
We got experience points.
Yes, you got experience points. Where was my... Oh, here it was.
Anything on this
Okay.
magic user by chance?
Go ahead and make an investigation check. No. No, it's just bones and robes and a stick, and it's not even a good stick. It's like a branch that got ripped off a tree some hundreds of years ago. It's barely in one piece.
CJ, how can I cast second wind on myself?
Okay, so second wind, 1d10 plus 5 hit points. I'm not sure if it'll
Yeah,
post that. Oh yeah, it does. Okay. So
I just can't access it from my sheet.
okay, so yeah, the newer sheets are kind of really wonky and such. You see the gear button at the top of your sheet there?
Yes.
Click on that, and then if you click
Okay.
where it says this sheet, and then you put it back to the legacy sheet, and then you save it, it should return it to the old character sheet, where all the buttons work as
Okay.
they are expected to.
Oh, good. Thank you. As you can tell, I was having issues.
Yes, I hate the new character sheets because they're not functional. They don't function as well as the new ones. So second wind's on your features tab, in the old character sheet, and then you can just click on the icon for it
Self.
and use it.
Have I used it already?
No.
It says I've used it already.
Does it? It shouldn't. Oh, okay. Let me fix that. Yeah. All right. There you go. There you go.
Ah,
Well, that die was being very dramatic. Yeah, you're back to full health.
yes, it was. We'll take that. Thank you very much.
Also, our movement is still in combat mode,
Oh,
at
oopsie.
least for me.
Okay, there you go. I have fixed it. You guys should be able to freely move now.
Gawain is going to check the mage skeleton.
Okay.
Metagaming a little. It's because Timmy rolled a 1.
We're just gonna go ahead and move your dancing lights, Rian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Investigation.
Piper, you're doing so much better.
At what?
Jesus.
Being sensible
Oh.
and not
that-
panicking.
Oh, well, I'm getting used to this, she says.
Good. See?
Natural 20
I
for a
see.
total of 21.
I see that. I see you're not 20 for a total of 21. So as you go to search the skeleton, you find that it has some really old, tattered robes. It has all of its baby teeth still.
In a pouch tied to its waist.
Ew, yuck. God, that. Ugh.
Yeah,
Have you ever seen a kid skeleton with both sets of their teeth? Ugh.
yeah, it's horrifying. It is probably about 4.5 feet tall at most, so it was definitely on the young side. Based on femur length alone, it was probably like 15 or 16 years old at most. Maybe a little younger. Based on like the stick it's carrying, it wanted to be a mage, but it probably wasn't a mage until it became a skeleton mage in Unlife. Aside from that, it is carrying no valuables.
Gawain just sort of sits with that information. Huh. Well, that's certainly
Gawain,
something.
if it's a good enough stick, Mayhem might like it.
Is it a good enough stick for Mayhem?
I mean, it's a pretty good stick. It's just not a great stick. It's definitely not like a quarterstaff quality stick, but it's a stick.
Would it be a good enough stick for Mayhem to chew on?
It would be a little oversized, but yes.
I mean, that's perfect for a dog.
Yeah.
Gawain gives Mayhem the stick. Says, "Here's a chew toy, boy."
He is so happy. His tail is wagging. He's walking around. He walks up to James and shows him the new stick.
I mean, come on, it's a stick.
Dogs just love sticks.
And he's gonna
Duh.
show Piper the new stick. And he comes over and he shows Veracasa the new stick.
So, as for that tripwire, we're past
Oh,
it.
yeah, that sounds annoying.
And there's a tripwire in this hallway, and where there's one, there's likely more.
Gawain is going to roll perception to see if he can find more tripwires.
Sure.
Or, well, anything related. Tricks and traps and whatnot.
We'll take
17.
17. Okay. You do see that there's some kind of magical field over here. 17, you said?
Yeah.
You do see that there is a slit in the wall here. Definitely some kind of arrow trap.
How high is the slit in the wall?
It's about middle height.
Okay. So Gawain is going to motion for everyone to stay clear of it. And then he is going to fire a normal crossbow bolt at the tripwire.
Okay. Make a attack roll with your crossbow.
Okay.
Trying to hit a thread, huh?
Yep.
Good luck with that.
That's an 8.
It misses. You hear your crossbow bolt bounce off of the floor. It scatters somewhere into the darkness. You also hear it snap on impact somewhere.
Well, I suppose that was a foregone conclusion.
Let me try something. Going. Can I see the tripwire?
Probably in the way of the arrow trap there.
Make a perception check.
Yeah,
Okay.
Gawain points it out to help her see it.
At advantage. It is very dark.
Just show you.
What were you going to say, James?
Just so you know, I can just, blast.
Don't you have a limit on those?
Not really.
I
I
was
assume-
gonna throw an axe at it, but if you want to try shooting it with a blast, go for it.
I assumed it was similar
But
to
I
normal
got a 23,
spellcasting.
so I assume I see it.
Yes, so there is the trap itself is here, but one of the tripwires is here. You do see another tripwire on this book here.
Oh, lovely. Okay. So, he's gonna go after that tripwire. I'm gonna go look at this tripwire.
It's narrow slit. Probably pressure.
There's a tripwire here.
The one over here by the book.
Yeah.
Okay, shoot the book. I'm kidding.
No, shoot the first tripwire.
Yeah,
That way we
I'm-
don't end up that we have an way to escape if we have to.
I was kidding. I meant to fire a normal crossbow bolt, not a barbed crossbow bolt.
Okay. You may, if it deducted a barbed one, you can return that. Reduce your.
Okay. So move those back up to 17. And then reduce my normal ones to 59.
Okay. So what are you guys doing, James? You gonna shoot at the tripwire over here?
First I'm gonna look if I can find the tripwire.
Sure. Yeah. Perception check.
Gawain will point it out to him, like he pointed it out to Rian.
You're looking for 15 or better. You can roll at advantage since somebody's pointing you in the right direction, at least. Yeah, you still can't seem to find it. Any shot you make on it will be a disadvantage.
While all this is happening, Vera is just watching the back, talking to Piper.
Yeah. What you guys talking about?
We're probably making up fan fiction about the skeletons that we've just killed.
Oh, gotcha. So she says, that little skeleton mage probably was like wanting to have been a mage in life, but wasn't actually magically blooded, and so like whoever was the necromancer that rose his bones probably was like, I can fulfill your wishes in death, don't you think? Like that seems like
Right, and
sweet
then
in a way.
one of them here became the father figure that took him under his wing when the necromancer eventually like effed off. So which one do you think makes sense to be the father figure of the ones we
say
killed?
one of the ones that had the big hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know which one, but they had that kind of like I'll protect you kind of attitude. Okay. So Rianne, you're fiddling with the tripwire on the book?
I was going to look at the one on the book, but it's since it's a little more important currently, we can do things slowly. She's going to come back over here. She knows where the tripwire is.
Right.
She's going to throw one of her hand axes at it.
Sure, yeah.
I get advantage since I know where it is.
You know where it is. That means you can attack normally. It's a normal attack. You do miss, though. It is a high armor class because it's very small.
But there should be light down there from my hand axe, so we might be able to see it better.
You do get a spark when your hand axe hits a stone. Let's see. You can throw that thing like 60 feet at most, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna just go ahead and put a little light here. Say that's where your hand axe is. I'm giving off a little bit of light.
Okay, James. I missed
Do you guys
it.
just
down
want
there,
to like
but
I can army crawl over and trigger it if you want. Like, it's middle ground, right? Like, why are we trying to shoot it?
No idea.
Okay.
I am just waiting for you two to get out of the way of the arrow slit in case it fires.
There. I'm not even sure where the arrow slit is.
It's over here.
You said it
Oh.
was middle height, right?
Yeah.
It would be shooting like this.
Right. Can we just trigger it then?
So anyways, I started blasting.
Okay. What are you blasting at?
The general direction of the tripwire.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. How many blasts are you going to devote to this? Like, how long are you going to spend blasting at the floor over there? Is what I want to know.
I'm going to give it 2 combat rounds, so that would be 4 blasts.
All right. I want you to roll 4d20. These aren't even attack rolls. These are just luck checks because you're firing in the semi-dark. You don't know where the tripwire is.
10, 16, natural 20.
Yeah, you fire 3 blasts, and your 4th one definitely hits something. You hear a snap, a twang, and then nothing.
There's a magic field over here.
Where are you?
It's right here.
Okay. Unless it's within her dark range view, the screen is black for me.
Yeah, he's right here.
Okay.
That's within your dark vision range. Yeah, there he is, right there.
Magic
Okay,
glowing
so there's
field.
a magic.
Yeah, there's a glowing field right there.
Okay, good for you. I'm thrilled to death. I'm worried about this other tripwire.
We should poke it with a stick.
You're standing next to a relief of some kind, Rianne.
Oh, okay. I'm going to look at the relief.
Okay, it says on the on the wall there's a relief carved. The artwork seems to show a demon slaying a man, then the man being buried. An image of the tomb, then the tomb opening from the inside. The man crawls out, a profane demonic shape. Written in High Cruic, it says, "Beware the slain."
Wonderful. I relay this to my comrades.
This is Relief to Sorath Crypt 2. So that'll be in your journal.
They really should have put this
Okay.
before the other door.
He has a point.
Criticizing the makers of the tomb.
Maybe you should find the complaint box and lodge a formal complaint, Timothy.
Just saying. First there were no survivors, and now the warning's after the room of death.
We haven't even, I'm sure we haven't even come close to the room of death.
Lodging a formal complaint in the suggestion box seems like a good idea. There's a magical field over there.
That's what I
Okay,
said.
perception to see if I can disarm the book, the tripwire on the book.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, so that would be... Like, are you trying to cut it, or do you just want to see what the mechanism is?
I want to see what the mechanism is to see if I can figure out if I can disarm it.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Oh, investigation. Okay.
Yes.
Not perception? Okay.
Perception is to detect whether or not a thing is there. Investigation is to figure out how it works. With a 21, you notice that this tripwire that is on this... Yeah, natural 20.
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
This natural 21, you notice that the tripwire on this book is actually a false tripwire. It is there to lull you into a sense of security, and that it actually does nothing.
How is that supposed to? Never mind.
If you were to
Okay.
cut the tripwire, you would feel secure in knowing that you've disarmed the trap. It's a false tripwire.
Okay. Piper, do you want to come take a look at this book and this relief I found?
Sure, she says, and she comes over, squeezes past Vera. Pardon me. She goes over this way, takes a look.
Owain is examining this magical field too.
Okay, you can make an Arcana check if you'd like.
Okay.
Bork, 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 bork.
Still watching the back.
18.
And then she steps in front of the book there. 18. This magical field is being operated by some kind of other magical device. It's just existing in the space to sort of block you off. Do you want to touch it?
Can I tell what it does without touching it?
With an 18, you know it's going to burn your finger, and it's probably not going to feel good.
Okay, no, I'm not going to touch it then.
Okay.
We should touch it with our swords.
I don't think that's a great idea. You can feel free though.
Now, Piper goes to stand in front of the book, and then an arrow flies out of the wall at her. It hits her, knocking her unconscious.
Owain immediately rushes in and casts Cure Wounds.
Okay.
Do I have that? There it is. Okay. She is healed for 8.
8. Okay, she's back up to full. So she steps in front of
the arrow slit.
Yeah, she steps in front of the arrow slit, confident that you've disarmed the trap because the tripwire is not a real tripwire. She goes over, she stands in front of it, she shifts down like half an inch. She looks down. Oh, weird. Arrow stabs her in the chest as it comes flying out of the wall, immediately drops to the floor like a sack of potatoes. Gwen, you come rushing over quickly, Cure Wounds her. She wakes up on the floor with an arrow sticking out of her chest.
I should have removed the arrow first. I panicked.
Ow.
That's okay. We can remove it again, and we can remove it and heal her again. And Piper, don't stand in the way of, even though the traps may be disarmed, you don't stand in front of the trap.
Okay.
Maybe.
Treat every trap like an unsheathed sword.
There's more clicking, and the arrow shoots again at James. It misses.
Gawain pulls her off the pressure plate.
Good call.
You pull her off the pressure plate. The pressure plate goes back up to normal position. The clicking in the wall stops. Ow.
I'm going to remove this arrow. It's going to hurt. I'm going to heal you again immediately afterwards. Should I roll medicine for that?
Yeah, roll medicine.
Because he actually has that skill.
Yeah, roll medicine for that.
Oh my god. 9, I think.
You
9?
pull it out. You deal, let's see, 2 points of damage to her as you pull it out of her.
And then he uses 2 points of lay on hands to heal her back immediately.
Okay. She is very unhappy. She gets off the floor, healed again. She kind of sits up against the wall. And she's just like, I'm gonna sit here for a minute.
Good call.
Yeah. That dress is ruined.
No, No.
We can probably mend it.
Or get another one made for you.
So do you, just as an FYI, I have danger sense.
Mhm.
If you guys want me to be doing this trap stuff,
Possibly, yeah.
you guys were doing so great.
You didn't want to steal our thunder.
Nah, I was too busy writing stories in my head.
Can't we just jam the arrow trap from the arrow side?
Do you want to go up and take a look at it?
Yeah, but
Look into the murder hole.
From the side.
All right. Yeah, as you take a step across it, that block, it does fire. Vera's right there in the line of fire.
Damn
Crits.
it.
God damn it.
Can I do a dexterity saving throw against it?
It's attack roll. It's not a dex save.
Okay, it's fine.
It deals 13 points of piercing damage to you.
All right, I take it like a champ, and then I
Can we
glare. I glare.
Gawain's just
I have to
incredulous.
admit, I'm impressed that that wasn't a Timmy stunt.
Can we stop stepping on the pressure plate now, please?
Yeah. Rihanna's going to pick up the book.
Okay, you pick up the book. It's dusty. It's covered in
Go.
like cobwebs.
Go the long way around and give it to Piper so she can sit there and have something to do while she's being unhappy.
Did you just step on the pressure plate?
No, she went
No.
around it. This is the bad spot right here. That's it. I'm gonna put a. You guys are now fully aware of which square is the bad square. I'm just gonna mark it for you.
And since you deigned it, worthy enough to get me shot again, you guys can stand here for a short rest while I use my hit dice. That would be great.
You guys are spending an hour here. Okay. So you guys are investigating this arrow trap now?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go sit with Piper and heal myself.
Okay.
They can investigate the arrow trap. Rihanna's gonna go look at see what this thing is.
Okay.
So no
Actually,
short
she's
rest.
gonna-
Sure.
No, she can short rest.
Right, she can, but
something might happen with you guys going off in different directions at the moment.
This is true.
Mayhem walks over to Piper, trips the trap, the arrow flies over him. So James, you're investigating the arrow trap. Go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
If Zed is still in the audience, may any gods forgive me for what I'm about to do.
Where even are you? Oh, there you are. Okay, so you have no idea how to disarm this thing. Unfortunately, James.
it's got to run out of arrows eventually. Let's just keep triggering it over and over again.
Let's not and say we did.
Why do you care so much now that we have the book?
Piper's looking at the book. She says, "This is actually kind of interesting." She starts reading it aloud for you guys. Should the Guardians be destroyed by course of accident or purpose, either by man or monster, the following tasks are necessary for reconstitution of the Guardian. Begin with assembling the appropriate parts. The more complete it is, the greater the durability of the Sentinel. Using a file, scrape off the damaged runes on the bones, reconstruct the missing runes, and impart the spell back onto the body. For greater duration, use silver or gold to hold the enchantment, setting the metal into the runes themselves. Should Guardians wander away from their designated area, use the activation phrase, Honorable Guardian, your master is undefended, return to your position, to put them back onto their assigned task. They will not fail to do so unless control of them has been wrested away by another mage. If they do not comply with the order, immediately destroy them. So now we have a code phrase we can use to determine whether or not any undead in a room who can hear us are not being controlled by a malevolent force. Does that make sense to everybody?
That does make sense.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
the phrase is, Honorable Guardian, your master is undefended. Return to your position. And if it doesn't go back to where it's supposed to be, it's bad and is going to attack you.
Okay, can you say that again so I can write it down?
Yes, hold on. I'm just putting it in your journal. So it is Tome 2, Sorath Crypt 2. And she says, Honorable Guardian, your master's undefended. Return to your position.
Thank you.
It couldn't be something short like stop.
No, because, no one was short-breathed 300 years ago.
Had pipes.
Isn't that supposed to be? It's a Cruic language. Is it supposed to be translatable? Tome 2?
Yes, it is Arcane Cruic. So if you're clicking on it and it doesn't change for you, you don't have that language.
Okay.
I don't think any of you have that language. Well, why did I look at Mayhem? He doesn't have any languages.
Yes, he does. He has dog.
He speaks
And-
dog.
Good boy.
I'm gonna give him a language. It's just dog.
I need to AFK briefly and use the restroom.
Sure.
Quick question. Is it safe to assume that Piper has some blood on her dress because of the arrow?
Yes.
Yeah, while Piper is reading from the book, James is gonna use prestidigitation to wash it out of her dress.
She says, "Oh, thank you. I appreciate it."
No problem. Maybe now it's easier to repair.
She's got like a arrow-sized hole in like her near her, probably like in the middle of like where her right lung is. It's like, this is gonna take. That I might just need to get a brand new top, but anyway. So you guys want to spend a short rest here?
Sure.
I would like to if we can. I haven't rolled yet, just in case.
Okay. An hour passes, and you may roll a short rest. I'm gonna go ahead and move your dancing lights.
Ooh, good roll for me.
Short rest.
Yep.
Gawain, I think, would want to, so I'm gonna just short rest him. And I'm gonna roll 1d10 for him. Okay. You guys have reset with your short rest. What would you like to do?
Did you check out the top part fully the way you wanted?
Nope.
Let's do that.
I waited on that one because there seems to be something shiny and glowing up here, so I was gonna go check it out.
Sorry about that.
But nope.
Welcome back.
Keeping an eye out for any traps.
Okay, yeah, you
this time through.
You can make a perception check if you'd like.
Can I as well?
I would very much like to. Yes, please.
Do you want I'll help and you can have advantage?
Sure. Does she have to roll first, or is she just helping?
With help, you roll advantage.
Why do I see Timmy Trouble moving on every single square?
Gawain takes this opportunity to, since he's walking behind Mayhem, to scritch that place on the dog just above the base of the tail that makes them go absolutely insane.
Yeah, he's doing some stompies. He's just doing some straight up stompies.
Then he pats him on the head and says, "Good boy."
Bork.
Sorry, I missed it. What, guys?
You're going to
Sorry.
you're going ahead to roll your perception check at advantage.
Okay, sorry. Something happened.
No problem.
I'll take a 19.
There appear to be no traps in this room.
Okay.
Are these bookshelves?
They appear to be shelves that have like various small tools on them. They're very rusted and old. Most of them are made out of iron or bronze materials. They're probably about as old as the tomb. They've been left down here. A variety of like small mason's tools or like crockware or little jars and pots and stuff.
Is there one that weighs about 5 pounds?
Not really. They're mostly broken and stuff. What are you looking for specifically?
Something that's like baseball size?
Okay. Yeah, you could grab like a shard of crockery that fits that description.
Yeah. I want to throw it at that glowing red thing to see what happens.
Okay, make an attack roll for me. Use your dexterity modifier.
God damn it.
I mean, we call him Timmy Trouble for nothing. Not for nothing.
Yeah, he is Timmy Trouble.
If we notice this happening, can we at least like duck?
Yeah.
Good. Dodge out of the way.
Yep.
So go ahead and roll your. Yep, there it goes. Okay. 12. Yeah. So you hit it. This little orb with your crockery. It bounces and hits the wall, breaks into a billion pieces, and becomes dust on the floor. The orb that's putting off this light is unaffected.
Huh.
Arcana check on the orb, maybe?
Yeah.
Would religion
What's your
potentially work?
Arcana?
You could do religion, but it doesn't have any iconography to make you think it's a religious artifact.
Oh, okay. My Arcana is +1.
What's your Arcana?
+1.
Gawain.
+1.
I have a +4.
Okay, you go ahead and roll Arcana on it then.
James has
You want to help me?
+3.
Yes. Gawain will assist by also looking over it.
Okay.
Putting our heads
So I will
together.
be rolling.
You
Yes,
are rolling.
So I'm rolling with it.
Yes, you're rolling an advantage.
Yes.
I am just gonna give our little troublemaker an angry look.
Hey, at least I didn't shoot anybody.
Piper just turns to Vera and says, "This is just going to be a whole thing now, isn't it? Me getting shot in here is just going to be a whole thing for you guys, isn't it?"
I'm hoping that will have only happened once by the time we get out of here.
I'm hoping so too. It was not fun, she says, and you are realizing that this orb is definitely powering the energy fields that are blocking off your progress in that other area. It is not fragile at all, but if you were capable of taking on spell energy, you could basically suck the energy out of it. You'd have to be a spellcaster to do that.
Well, we have at least one spellcaster. Yes.
Yeah, you have a couple people with spellcasting features. So you've got a paladin.
Does
You've got
any
two paladins and a bard. Warlock doesn't count because
Yes.
practice slots are different.
So
guys, if you need some magical power and can drain, have at it.
do we get spell slots back from draining it?
You might.
Mm.
Uh, is,
Let's try to drain it together.
is anyone hurt?
I short rested. I'm fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Gawain will try to drain spell energy from it.
Please be careful.
Maybe,
I'm right there with him. I got your back.
Maybe step back a little bit. Dominic, maybe get a little closer.
I'm gonna hold his hand.
Not what I meant, but he awkwardly pats Dominic on the head.
This gives me Guardian of the Galaxy vibes.
Dominic is Star-Lord, but more annoying. Yep. Oh, do I roll anything for that?
No, Dominic is Groot.
Ouch! I'm more like Rocket.
Rocket's
No.
useful.
Yeah.
Ouch!
Double ouch.
Ooh.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Roasted. Okay. Jesus, dude.
Do we roll anything for this?
Yes, I was getting to that.
Okay.
So you guys are both trying to drain this of spell energy. Go ahead and give me a Arcana check, both of you, individual.
Since my magic is religious in nature, could I roll religion? I have a +4 in that.
No.
Okay. Yeah, at least I tried. 10.
Okay.
7. That's a 6, not a 9. Okay.
Yes, so you got a 7, and Dominic got a 15. He has a -1 too. Okay. The energy fades from it, and then goes out. And Dominic, you replenish 1 spell slot of first level. Unfortunately, you have all of your first level spell slots.
I was missing one.
You were missing one, but you didn't roll high enough to drain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can this thing come out of the wall?
It came out of the energy came out of the orb, so it sucked the energy out of the orb. And does that answer your question?
I want the orb.
Oh, you're trying to remove it. Oh, you can like put hands on it.
I'll do that.
It feels pretty sturdy.
I was gonna step back.
Rianne grabs James and pulls him back.
I do that like parent driving in a car puts their hand out in front of the child thing with Piper and with Mayhem. Like both arms are out. Please don't move forward.
All right, you go to pull it out.
Yep.
Make a strength check for me. Okay, with a 17, you get yourself braced good against the wall. You start pulling it out. 17 strength, more than enough to dislodge it from its holding there. As you pull it off, there is a high-pitched whine, and the connection that's keeping it onto whatever's at the back there separates. Lightning arcs from behind it. It explodes in a shower of flame and arcane energy and gemstone. And you take this much fire damage. 13 points of fire damage.
Why does Mayhem have 13 points of damage?
I had him selected when.
Okay. Okay.
This much piercing damage from the poke. And this much lightning damage.
Ouch.
Does he get any bludgeoning damage?
No. He does hit the floor though, but it was not hard enough for him to be, take damage from that.
I'm gonna lay on hands myself.
You're covered in bruises. You're smoking. There's a bunch of gem shards in you. You lay on hands yourself. How many points are you giving yourself back?
20.
Okay.
Goyne looks back at Piper and says, "Well, he can't make fun of you for the arrow anymore."
No, he cannot.
Still can.
You blew yourself up.
Yeah. No, you don't get to make fun of her. No.
And to cure wounds.
Jesus.
This is not my problem.
Okay. I think we should go.
Blows himself up, she says.
I know it's illegal to preach, but is it illegal to use epithets in the name of my god in cases of distress?
No. I don't think so. Not
Dear
today.
sweet Rosa, what's wrong with him?
I'm gonna pick up these gem shards.
Okay, you pick up an array of strange gem shards.
And out of you.
Yes, and out of you, yes.
Is this gonna be the magical variant of Pocket Sand?
Pocket gems.
Probably.
Oh!
I feel like Dominic is the adult variant of those touched children that would be adopted by the monastery.
I mean, honestly, who puts an exploding gem in a wall?
No, it was a magical device, she says. It's a magical device empowering other magical device. There was a feedback explosion, she
It
says.
was poorly designed, is what it was.
No, it did its job. It's not supposed to be tampered with.
There's no use trying to reason with him, Piper.
What idiot would
Yeah.
pull it out of the wall?
Okay, let's see. There was a force field over here, I think.
I had assumed us simply draining the magic would be enough to get rid of it. We didn't have to alert everything in the area, most likely, with noise from that.
I hope not. All right.
Well,
Was
we know
the
to blame
force field in
Dominic.
this room?
Yes, it was blocking. One of them was blocking off this room. Yes.
Is that a web?
Lots of-
Do we need to do anything across that, or is that the force field?
Yeah, this is a web. It's just there. It's not really it's not even tough gossamer. You can just cut right through it.
Okay. I will cut right through it.
Very.
Is it a dust? Is it cobweb or spider webs?
It's like cobwebs.
All right.
There's a difference.
These are
Yeah,
Cobwebs are.
very.
Yeah, cobwebs are thinner. They're kind of wispy, whereas spider webs are like structured and thick and have purpose.
Nope. I did not mean to go all the way over there. I just leaned on my keyboard. Sorry.
Huh, the more I know.
There's a lot of sarcophagi in here.
Yeah.
I redeemed a name generator, by the way, as law.
I saw. I wrote it down.
Okay.
I will come up with a character with
Do
that
any
name.
of these sarcophagus look? How old do you think these are, Piper?
These are probably about 300 years old. They're probably the soldiers that were mentioned in the story. Mayhem. Pork?
Not sure if that's a story or a warning, but okay.
Oh, a little bit of both. This is interesting.
Yeah. Whatever this is.
It's a monument, she says. It's got when your lights approach it, glitters with emeralds and sapphires that have been set into it. Hundreds of names have been carved into the stone. Some of them have been scratched out.
Okay. Rianne grabs the back of Dominic's shirt and pulls him back away from it. No touching.
Gawain asks Piper, why would names have been scratched out from a memorial monument?
How to explain this? If the prior relief has any bearing, what you can do sometimes is you can call the dead with their name, especially if it's their true name. So let's say my father was dead and I wanted to talk to him. I could go to his grave and say, Godfrey Halethorpe, I would like to speak with you, blah, 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 right? He's not dead, by the way. But if he was dead and his spirit was lingering, he could feasibly appear or cross back over, and we could have a conversation. It's also easier to talk to the dead if you know their name, if you have access to spells that allow you to speak with them, specifically. However, if some of them were changed by the combat with the demons, like the other information warns us, you don't want to accidentally invoke that person, especially if they've been violently changed and they've been like sealed in one of these sarcophagi, right? So by speaking their name, we might accidentally invoke them and we might have to fight something horrible. So that's why their names are scratched out, so they're no longer readable. It's not because of any dishonor or anything like that. It's to protect the living from accidentally doing something that gets them killed.
Thank you for the explanation.
Why is it covered in jewels?
Because this was an important war and these people made a huge sacrifice, and it's to honor them.
Brave souls, one and all.
Is there anything other than their names on this monument, Piper?
No, it doesn't look like it. It just looks like names, she says.
Gawain is very clearly like taking a moment to, if not pray, at least venerate the fallen souls.
I'm still keeping an eye out in case anything comes up on us. Can I perception
Absolutely.
for danger?
Yeah.
I'll assist you.
Okay, advantage.
Yeah. Pretty good, 16. You note that there are currently 4 sarcophagi, 5 sarcophagi, 6 sarcophagi, 7 sarcophagi that are open. Of the ones that are open, 3 of them have some kind of like hand or something kind of like casually draped out of it.
So 4 look empty, is what you're saying?
Yes, this one, this one, this one, and this one looks empty. This one, and this one look like they're occupied.
How many names are scratched off?
It's good like 20 out of hundreds of names that are scratched off.
Okay. I just think we'll leave the honored dead where they are and maybe, go check something else out. What do you guys think?
Sounds fair to me.
Yeah.
Come on. Huh. Come on, Timmy. Actually, Rianne is going to go this way.
Well, hold on a second.
Uh-huh.
Can I roll a perception on something I spot in the distance?
Yeah. What are you spotting in the distance?
Just some darker spots against the sarcophagus off in the air.
Right here?
Yeah.
It could be blood. It could be like oil from a lamp or something.
There's something suspicious over there, and I kind of point to the direction.
I'm impressed that
Brienne
he
is
called
good.
it out in advance, so
Well, I like to only be blown up once a day.
you've hit your quota, and I will carefully walk forward.
You do pass this sarcophagus on the way as you
Yeah, it makes me nervous.
and you look
I halt.
you look inside. There is a fully transformed ghoul inside. It is asleep.
While that's going on, Rianne has gone and retrieved her hatchet,
Okay.
her throwing axe, and is coming back.
Okay.
It's a blood spatter.
As you step back, you do get shot at by an arrow trap.
Yep.
Rianne. It misses.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gawain is hanging back and making sure Piper is safe just in case.
I'm gonna holler out that we heard that.
And it missed. What's this?
Please don't holler. There's a sleeping ghoul in the other sarcophagus.
That's where the arrow came out of.
Oh, okay.
That's the arrow trap right there.
Oh.
Ah.
The camera.
You know,
improvements.
whoever built this had a messed up mind. I swear.
I like to imagine that Veracasa just turns around and goes, "Shh."
Shut up, Timothy. People are sleeping. It's rude.
Yes, this is a blood stain, definitely. While you're standing there, Rianne, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay. Perception.
And if you two want to investigate that, you certainly can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
So with a 22, Rianne, you see this guy and this guy just kind of standing there. They're not doing anything, they're just kind of standing there in the dark.
do they have glowing red eyes?
No. But they also don't seem to be active.
Oh, that's good. Not sure. Going to call my dancing lights.
Okay.
And toss them into the room with them.
Sure.
That should open up more of the room to see.
Yes, it does provide more dim light for the room. James, also make a perception check for me. And Vera and James, did you want to investigate this bloodstain? Also,
I was gonna ask
Yeah.
if James wanted, or not James, Timothy wanted to do advantage.
well, Tim's all the way over here.
Who was investigating with me then?
That's James.
Me.
James. Okay, sorry. Timothy was the one that mentioned it, and James is the one that came with. I follow.
Okay.
Do you want to take advantage then?
I think we have the same modifier of +0.
I have +1 investigation. Do you want me to roll? Advantage?
Yeah.
Okay. Natural 20.
Oh. There is and you've seen these creatures more than once. There's a ghoul claw stuck in the stone, but the rest of the body's gone. So somebody removed the ghoul that was inside this sarcophagus.
Ugh. I hate that. Okay.
Yeah. By the way, Gawain, when you passed by this one, you did definitely see a ghoul inside of that sarcophagus. It was asleep.
He has left him undisturbed.
And Piper takes a peek. That is terrifying.
Would there be a reason that so many of them are ghouls in here?
I mean, pick any reason, she says.
Fair. Not quite certain how undead work. I'm mostly trying to just put the rogue ones back in the ground.
Well, you know. Oh, geez, there's another one in this one. Oh, geez.
There's quite a few ghouls.
I don't know where to stand.
Are we okay to move? Because maybe we just move out of this room now.
There's another room over there.
Yeah, there is another room over there, but it's got things in it.
I mean, this one has... I see the skeleton there. You definitely now see this guy.
Uh-huh.
And you definitely now also see this guy.
Also, you wanted me to roll perception as well, so.
Yes, I did. But that was for this guy.
Ah.
Yes, because you can technically see him from where you're standing.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna look in this room.
Looks like some gold in here.
Perhaps we should leave that alone. The ghouls may wake if we take it.
Yeah.
Take what? She says.
There's gold in there.
Oh. Well, they probably aren't here to protect the money that's been stashed here.
I still feel uncomfortable grave robbing.
Well, it's not for the grave. It's not grave robbing.
More archaeology.
Okay,
Well,
let's
then-
check this other room.
Then you come take it, Timothy, just in case it's trapped.
I'll even help and pull my dancing lights and throw it in the room with them.
Okay. Yoink.
Looks fine.
Does Mayhem still have his stick?
Yes, he does still have his stick.
Good boy. I pet Mayhem. Did you get a new sound file?
Nope, that's
CJ?
Deli Do. That's Deli Do.
Ah.
That's upstairs.
That's my mic.
It was perfectly timed.
It was. It really was.
She wants to be the star of the show.
She does.
Coin split.
Yep.
Anything else interesting?
It doesn't appear to be. There's some little small crates over here, a bunch of urns, and a broken stone table.
All right, time to leave.
Piper, did you get everything you wanted?
Yeah, it seems like there's nothing else for my academic research here, unless there's something in that room with the skeletons, though I'm not sure if I should go in there.
Do you really want to go in here, Piper?
Oh, there's a desk and that looks like to be papers and... maybe?
Okay. All right. Come up here to this door.
Which door?
The one up here by me.
Okay.
I'm going to pull my dancing lights in and We'll go in further away from the skeletons, and you can walk very carefully around.
No, don't pull the stone out of the wall. No, don't step on the trap. Walk into a room full of skeletons.
Gawain is very clearly trying to create like a screen between the skeletons and Piper, just in case.
Have the skeletons done anything?
They have not moved.
Just in case.
Okay.
That one actually looks very happy to see us.
He's overjoyed.
That one's making some very rude hand gestures.
Yeah, it's picking its nose. Yeah. This one's picking its nose cavity right here. This one's got a sticker on the front that says "on lease."
The name generation is incredible.
Yeah, it's just random. Piper says to you, Veracasa, "Could you scooch so I can get to the desk?" Thank you. He opens the chest, looks through it, and then looks through the papers on the desk. Okay, nothing here that seems interesting to me.
Okay, now let's go.
Well, can I look if it's not interesting to her?
Yeah, make an
That was
investigation.
very emphatic to me, so like,
Yeah.
I'll just eyeball.
There are some... Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah, there you go. Okay, 5. There's some candles in here,
Yeah.
in the chest.
Okay. She's right.
This could be useful if you were doing anything that required candles.
Mm-hmm. Where to?
There goes Timmy.
How close did you go by the skeleton?
At least 7 feet away.
Okay. As you go by, it kind of turns its head to watch you, and it puts its thumbs in its ear sockets and waggles its hands at you.
I'll give him a salute as I walk by.
It gives you an up yours gesture.
Yeah,
A one or two-fingered salute.
It's like the stereotypical salute, but instead of with the whole hand, just the one finger.
Okay, so
They seem rather innocuous in this room.
Okay, so. I think we're going to exit around from the room from the scary skeleton. What do you think, Piper?
I think
Did you
that's
get everything
safe.
you needed?
Yes.
probably
We're
a
going to
good.
go this way.
Yeah.
Not mess with any of this, skeletons.
I feel like if there were an adventurer's like a VHS training tape, they'd have a section that says, "Don't be like Timmy Trouble."
Why did the skeletons just move?
They seem to be kind of like following Tim at the moment.
Oh no.
And we're all
Wonderful.
leaving. I mean, I saw it, so.
Yeah, they kind of like left the same way Tim was.
Oh no. God damn it.
Can I guess I'll follow behind? I don't love it.
So, Gawain is going to try and use that keyword when he sees them following Timmy.
Sure.
And he says, clearly stated, and I quote, for the court record, Honorable Guardian, your master is undefended. Return to your position.
They all kind of stop. They snap to, and then they begin to walk back to where they were before.
I give them a very wide berth.
Ah, that's a handy little command. It's a good thing they're so stupid.
This one comes around the corner and just does a bunch of rude gestures at you, just like wildly middle finger handsing.
Where
in
is
the
the
air.
key? Okay.
Eddie is Honorable Guardian.
Gets to here and is just like aggressively rude gesturing at Tim.
Just pelvic thrusting in the air at Tim.
Yes. Piper says, "Oh my," and she starts walking away. I do not want
This
to be
one,
involved.
this one puts the animate and animate dead.
It makes a little hand like you're speaking, and then it does another hand like it's speaking, and they're fighting in the air, speaking back and forth of each other.
I'm about to remind everyone of Gawain's age when he says, well, that gives a new meaning to boner.
I got like a stray.
Is it just fault?
Gawain? Can you, would you, I can't remember the phrase. Can you say it again, Gawain? Perhaps we can get him to go back?
Gawain
And
says
we
that
don't want to smite him?
this time more beleaguered. Honorable Guardian, your master is undefended. Return to your position.
It turns around after following Dominic this whole way, just making outrageous gestures, the rudest shit you can imagine, and then it just kind of like slumps, like it's like, oh, fine, turns around and it just starts stomping back to where it's supposed to be.
Is it making rude gestures the whole way?
It's just got a middle finger over its shoulder.
I feel like that one's a teenager.
She's like, yeah, that one's definitely got problems.
Yeah.
Really flipping Tim
Okay.
the double bird as it walks away.
What did you do to it?
All right.
What did you do to it?
I guess, I don't know.
For once, he didn't even do anything. I was watching. He just walked past it.
I normally only elicit that kind of reaction in, like, the ladies.
I think you elicit that reaction from most people, Timothy.
I have no comment.
Vera is just rolling her eyes. This is normal.
Okay. Let's just live to get out of here. Don't step on that.
Don't pull anything funny out of the walls either, Timothy.
Yeah.
Ha ha
Although,
ha ha.
I wonder who cleaned that stuff up.
I don't know.
Is everyone accounted for?
Piper and Mayhem went upstairs.
That's fine, but
Seems so.
Cousin,
Mm-hmm.
why is Timmy still alive, and why haven't you let me murder him yet?
I'm gonna assume you guys are having a private conversation at the bottom of the stairs.
Uh-huh.
Gawain just backs out uncomfortably. I'll leave you both to it.
I feel like Vera's response is just a shrug. Like, I don't think I know either.
If it wasn't for the fact that I was pretty sure his entire family has been wronged, and their death is part of the greater problems facing Cruenth right now, I would find a well and drop him down it.
I feel like he's getting more careless.
You
And it
think?
might be something that we want to watch. I don't know.
So
I'm not
help me-
opposed to, taking care of the problem, but
Yeah,
at the same time, probably better to keep the dangerous close by instead of wandering around.
I'm not disagreeing, but by my mother's people, so help me, if he ends up getting one of us killed, I'm going to take his head. Come on, let's go see if we can go Piper's last crypt.
Heavy
I
sigh.
know.
What time of
Alright.
year is it?
It's spring. It's Florist.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's nice out.
I just realized I wasn't fully clear on what time of year it was. Sorry.
It's alright.
Yeah, what time of day is it? Because it was morning when we started the shenaniganery.
It's about noon. It's a little bit. It's like, yeah, it's a little around noon.
So, shall we go check out the other crypt, Piper?
If you are up for it,
Sure.
sure.
Probably
This
best
is
that
the
we
last-
do a rest before we go into the last crypt.
We can take a little break. There's a convenient little. And she points. Little camp up there.
Yeah.
I imagine Timothy
Hey,
expended most of his spells after blowing himself to Kingdom Come.
Probably.
Oh.
Gawain, you want to talk to your friend and see if he noticed anything while we were delving?
Gawain sort of telepathically asks Crimson if he noticed anyone following us or anything suspicious while we were in the crypt.
Crimson squarks. And squarks again. Squark!
Well, like from the telepathic bond, do I like get any vibes, basically?
No vibes. Just a general, like, it was fine.
Okay.
This was all okay up here.
Okay. Gawain pats him on the haunch and gives him a piece of jerky.
Mm-hmm.
And so comes back to the group and says, he says everything's fine, or thereabouts.
How big is this stick that Mayhem has? Is it fetchable?
It's about 4 feet long.
I mean, yeah, Bear's a big girl. She'll play, fetch with this stick
Well,
with Mayhem.
The thing is, Mayhem's been a busy boy. He might
Yeah.
want to rest a little while too.
Yeah, playing fetch with him. He's happy to play.
I look at him, tails wagging.
Yep.
I took my short rest in the crypt.
Yep. He's happy. He's happy to do this.
Gawain,
Okay, so tell us about this last crypt, Piper.
If the records indicate that, and for process of elimination are true, this last crypt should be over that way, and it is a slightly deeper crypt, but it is newer.
Define newer.
Well, it was dug in the last 150 years or so.
Okay.
Outside of that, I do know that it is a crypt that all of the occupants are sealed. kind of like our ghoul friends in the crypt that we just came out of. The occupants in this one are sealed because of one reason or another. Either there was some kind of demonic taint on their body, or they were going to be reserved to be crafted into a more powerful undead, or some other particular reason around it. But they were all sealed for one purpose or another. And yes, you all may take a short rest if you'd like.
Okay, well that's good to know.
So we're not going
I'm
to
not
be
miss-
disturbing any coffins or anything, but we just want to take a look to see if there's any
We are not.
documents or any reliefs or anything else that's interesting down there. Maybe a book or so.
What's worrying me is the fact that one of those other ghouls was missing.
Yeah, it is worrisome.
Wow. We did recently come across a wandering ghoul.
That's true. It might have been that one.
I don't think so. I think that was a different one.
All right. Well, let me know when you all are ready to proceed.
I am very glad you have the bearing blade, though.
The banishing blade is pretty neat, she says, though it could use some cleaning up.
Yeah, why don't we do that out of the graveyard?
Okay. I'm not missing any hit points, so instead of short rest, Gawain is going to take out his sketchbook and sketch.
Sure. Yeah, you can make a art roll if you'd like.
Alrighty. Downtime and jeez. 8.
Let's see, did that adjust your painting training? It did, I think. You're at 61. You're about halfway to half proficiency.
Nice.
After the quick burst of fetch, because obviously that's not going to last the whole hour, Mayhem gets the best belly rubs.
He is incredibly happy.
And Vera gets the serotonin boost.
Much needed serotonin boost for Vera. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So Piper says, "All right. So I guess we're ready to go."
Yes, so.
All right. Who's gonna go in front?
I'll go in front this time.
Okay. Vera Casa in the front.
And Gawain will follow behind. Gawain will take up the rear this time, actually.
Take the rear.
Stay in the mid.
Staying in middle.
Rianne will back up her cousin.
Okay. Mayhem and our girl Piper in the middle. And last but not least, James, where did you want to be? In about the middle? You are muted.
Yeah, sorry, had to attend to my girlfriend. Yeah, somewhere around the middle.
All right. Let me just kind of scooch. Yeah, that looks good. All right, so we're gonna activate. I'm gonna go ahead and I assume you want your dancing lights.
If we've, yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna do them just for.
they've proven to be quite useful.
4 different colors this time. There's green, there's pink, there's yellow.
Oh, pretty.
Yep.
Hmm.
10
Okay, Piper, right or left?
I don't actually know.
This way.
Okay.
Keeping an eye out for traps.
That's weird.
Make a perception check for
Alright.
keeping an eye out for traps.
All right.
I'll
That's
also pull out my glow stick, I mean sword.
Yep. I'm getting there for everybody's glow
perception,
sticks.
you said?
Yep, perception.
Perception. Air.
There's nothing to it in there. Gawain, your glow stick, real quick. There we go.
Gawain is going to keep an eye out, just in case. Let me also perception. Not that he's great at it, but, always helps to have another pair of eyes. Nine.
Air.
You know, the lights are really pretty.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes the way they warble make me want to dance.
Alright. He glanced down this hallway. Oh, I thought we
Oh,
weren't
dear.
supposed to have crypts here.
Oh, that's...
No, we were supposed to have crypts, but they're new crypts.
That looks I don't like how that looks.
Well, they certainly made a
No.
mess of it when they built it, she says.
Gawain is going to use divine sense
Sure.
within 60 feet of himself. That is not behind total cover, at least. Actually, I guess that would... basically just sense up and about, or sense undead, sense fiends, celestial fiend or undead.
Okay.
Not its identity. Within the same radius, you also detect the presence of any place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated, as with the Hallow spell.
Okay. And the range on that is
60 feet.
60 feet, okay. So basically out to that middle one right there. So with your divine senses, you can tell that there have been magical bounds placed on all of these sarcophagi. You also notice these sarcophagi are larger than normal. They are mostly crafted from wood, but they've got some iron or metal components to them that are interesting. They are probably some kind of bound creature inside, like Piper said. So that's the kind of energy you're getting from them. You're also getting, like, it's sort of like a little bit of a ambient energy here, almost, but there's definitely, like, light demonic presence, but it's not manifested, if that makes sense to you. To put it another way is, the spirits are present, but they're not physical.
So
They're not active.
They can't physically harm you, but they can try to invade your mind and give you visions and that sort of thing, or to try to take control of you, or they can try to take control of, like, a body.
So Gawain looks like he's sniffing the air almost like a bloodhound for a second before relaying that to the party.
Hmm. Oh, we can always turn around.
Piper.
Gawain, Rianne, or Veracasa, Dominic, and that's it. Because James, you're slightly too far to the left to be able to see it. There is a tome that is clearly visible in the room.
Yeah.
You don't need it.
I don't
We can
need.
just-
I don't need it. How do you know I don't need it?
Remember, I only have to be blown up once a day policy.
Oh.
This is giving me blow up vibes.
So you're just assuming you're gonna blow up. You're just assuming you're
Yep.
gonna blow up now. Okay.
The demonic presence is the major concern. Visions, possession, that sort of thing. Or possession, or attempted possession of maybe one of us, or
Skilichi? She's
The-
gonna skip past you there for a second there.
or the corpses in those larger than normal sarcophagi.
Oh, those are big. Oh.
Yeah.
Those are big. Curious.
Game Master, where are the lights coming from?
So there are these little torches, little braziers here. That's where the light's coming from. And there's much bigger ones down this way.
I know, I realize that, but what lit them?
I'm going to roll insight.
Don't know. Go ahead and roll insight.
Do I need to roll insight for that?
Yeah, you can roll insight if you'd like.
What's your insight?
Insight against
5.
me.
Okay, I am going. Gawain is going to put his head together with her and sort of puzzle it out to assist with her roll, because he only has +1.
Sure.
All right. Rolling with advantage.
Jesus.
Down. I mean, depending on the kind of fuel, a brazier can be lit for a long time.
Yeah, but these are at least 150 years, and I don't think there's anything that lasts that long.
Probably not.
Do we know if these crypts are maintained?
Well, there isn't a gravekeeper or anything like that, because and she kind of pats the sword.
Fair.
Yeah.
So
There's an exit. Door to the surface.
I'm concerned that with the demonic presence that the cult we got into a scuffle with in the past few days may be involved with keeping these braziers lit.
Oh, they might have been using these bodies as fuel here.
Well, and remember, something escaped our siege, so I'm also not entirely certain, but there could also be tunnels between crypts, I would think, potentially.
Possibly. Okay, Timmy, since you're the one being so admirable on wanting to leave early, you stay back here with Piper, and if something eats us, run.
Gawain sends a telepathic message to Crimson to let Piper ride him to safety if need be, and informs Piper, my griffin friend will escort you to safety if need be.
Okay.
And then he enters the room next to Rick.
Very carefully, trying not to step on any of the bones.
Mm-hmm.
What do I get for an investigation?
Oh, roll an investigation.
Or do you want perception?
What are you trying to find
out? Well, if there's anybody upright and standing, and are there any other books or anything that we need to see about grabbing for Piper?
Okay, make a perception check for
Is
that.
that- That's a perception. Okay.
Gawain is assisting in this role.
You're also looking.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
Sorry.
Shall I roll again, GM?
Sure. Yes. You both are looking.
Oh, you want to delete that roll?
Yeah, I'll delete that roll. Normally I don't. I'm feeling a little
Yeah,
generous
I
about
know.
perception checks here today. So
Thank you. All right,
normally you
here we
can't help
go.
somebody with someone else's senses. 20. Okay.
Take that.
There are
I'd take the 10, too.
There are no upstanding skeletons in this room. There are no other books as far as you can see. There appear to be no traps as far as you can see either.
Here's my bet. I'm gonna look over at Piper.
Okay.
Rihanna's gonna go down. I'm gonna go down. And then we're gonna get healed at the last second. Bet you a gold coin.
A gold coin that you're going to get killed at the last second.
That we're gonna get healed at the last second.
Oh, healed at the last second, right before you die.
Yep.
She thinks for a moment, says, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll take that bet. And she produces a gold coin too.
Gawain just standing a few feet away, like, am I that predictable?
I actually glare, offended that they think I would let Rianne go down until the last second. Like, rude.
Well, Piper's kind of on your side, so Dominic's betting that those two will go down and then get healed at the last second. Piper's taking the opposite side that won't happen.
Piper believes in us.
Yeah, she thought about it and was like, I believe in you guys. Okay, yeah, you don't
Glad
see
to know somebody does.
you don't see anything threatening in here at the moment, aside from the ambiance.
All right. So gonna go after Piper's book, which I'm not sure where it is. Where is Piper's
It's
book?
all the way down at the bottom.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
It's
All
130 feet. Jesus.
Very gingerly tiptoeing my way down the wall, not stepping on any of the bones.
I am
Gawain is-
definitely. Yeah. I guess it's the three of us.
As they
Yep.
move off, Piper
Yeah.
says to James, cover me real quick. Just want to take a look at
Damn it.
this.
Piper, what are you doing?
I'm taking a look at it. It's huge, okay?
His nods disappointed.
She's gonna make her investigation check. Nine. She is very distracted by your scuttling across the bones there for a moment, and she starts taking some notes.
She should have to make an honor check because of Gawain's disappointment in her and his massive honor stat.
She's got an honor stat of 12.
Okay. Did not wake anything up.
Nope, doesn't look that way.
Yeah. Gawain's got 17 honor.
You didn't challenge her honor. You just
No, he just
side-
shook his head disappointedly.
You can disappoint your dad and
just-
still be an honorable person.
I'm gonna hang out right here, watching up and watching down.
Okay.
Some people are honorable people because they disappoint their dads.
Yeah, so this is Tome 1, Sorath Crypt 1. I'm going to go ahead and add that to your lore documents real quick.
I'm gonna drag Piper back to the door.
No, but 5 more seconds.
Everything always happens whenever they lift up the thing from the thing, or what pressure plays gets, or something.
Huh?
We're going back.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, babe.
But if it doesn't happen, we come
too.
back.
Fine.
Gawain is going to
Okay. I'm going to. Brienne's going to check and see. And it's be another investigation or perception to see if it's trapped.
Okay, so either of these work for detecting the trap. But investigation would also give you like how a trap would work if there is one, and if there's a means to deactivate it. So investigation's
All
always
right.
hands-on and always, pores over the thing more thoroughly. Perception is just you look with your eyes, you hear with your ears.
Would religion help for any kind of like sense the vibes of the demonic presence in the room?
You could try. It would be very difficult to like categorize the demon based on their vibes.
No, just not categorizing the demon, but categorizing like generally if they're in any danger and how much from it.
Definitely not a religion check.
Okay.
With your investigation check, you have determined that the book is not trapped.
Okay.
That's exactly what they say if it was a track book.
It does appear to be in really bad shape, though.
Will it come into pieces if I pick it up?
So it's in poor shape. Only one half of a page is legible. The rest of it has seemed to have faded. It doesn't look like it'll come apart if you pick it up. It just looks like it is aged to the point where the most of it is no longer legible.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try picking it up and...
Wait. Could I roll sleight of hand to take the legible part and leave the rest?
Sure, yeah, if you want.
Without harming the book?
How would you do that without harming the book?
Well, no, without harming the legible part, I mean.
Without harming the legible part. Yeah, you can roll a sleight of hand for that.
Okay. I have +5 and haven't had a chance to use it yet.
Okay.
Hey, question.
Answer.
When you say it seems so
18.
old, does it seem like it's older than this crypt? Because you said the crypt is recent. So, like, if it's crumbling...
It does seem older than the crypt.
Okay.
Okay, you rip the page out. Page
Just takes it. He takes like his boot knife and just edges the page out.
Okay. This should be in your journal already, but I will read it aloud for the benefit of stream. Only one half of the page is legible, so it starts with the end of a sentence. Below, period. We could only contain that which resided within the shallow husks of their bodies. The spirits raged and were of base design. Their malevolence was bound only by their intelligence, which was that of a predatory beast. Trapped in the form of a man, their energies warped the flesh until it was viable for the spirit's purposes. How these creatures are a magnitude of order above ourselves baffles me. End of entry.
That sounds foreboding.
Yeah, no fooling.
I suppose we should get this back to Piper as quickly and quietly as possible.
Yep.
Can I perception check for any, like, hidden hallways, doorways, passageways?
Sure.
Not bad.
Not bad. There do not appear to be any secret passages here.
Okay.
I've got to check. My curiosity won't let it stop me. What is burning in the brazier down here?
You look in, and it appears to be chunks of wood and coal and some kind of oil. It's like a mix of fuels.
So this is new-ish.
It's been relatively refreshed, yes.
Great. Okay, they've had recent visitors here, guys. That's wood. And
That's
coal.
concerning.
And yeah, no, yes, just ever so slightly concerning. Someday, I'm going to get to retire to my barony, and all I have to worry about is tenant farmers complaining about cows getting into their food, their fields, and I'm going to be so happy.
Don't cows tend to belong in the fields?
Not if they're not supposed to be eating that food.
Oh, fair. Gawain hands her the page. This was the only legible part.
She reads it. Well, that's curious. Is it implying that these bodies here are the ones that it's talking about in the page, or is it just coincidence, or...
I was hoping you would know. No, we should not crack one open.
I kind of want to crack one open.
We're not cracking open a cold one with the boys.
I'd like to crack a cold one with mostly the girls.
Go
That's
ahead.
fun.
Just a peek.
Yeah, go for it.
Think for a moment. If Timothy is telling you it's a good idea, is it a good idea?
Okay.
Should I roll diplomacy on that?
You can roll persuasion, but she is following up with, think about it for a moment. That sarcophagus, that coffin over there, is about 4 times the size of one normally, right? It's got magical bindings on it to prevent whatever's in there from doing something bad, okay? And I know how this sounds, but there isn't a classification of undead that fits those size parameters. It's a really bad idea to open one. You're right. But...
Gawain says, if you open it, and it confronts us, the noise of the confrontation could wake the rest of them. And even worse, no offense, Timothy thinks it's a good idea.
Oh, I don't think it's a good idea. I just want my gold piece.
How much does one gold piece mean to you?
Say that whenever you don't have any.
I have not had any for most of my life.
Oh, Mr. High and Mighty. Well, let's not open the crypt.
Alright. Fine. What I'll do is I'll document, and then I'll hire a company of troops to be here when I open one.
That sounds like a good idea. And I'm sorry to
Actually,
rain
that
on your
sounds like an even worse idea because, if these are demonic entities, they could take you and them over.
Yeah.
That's fair, yes.
All because you weren't strong enough to open the crypt?
You really want that gold piece, don't you, Timothy?
I'm gonna take
Actually-
that piece.
As of right now, it's like a matter of principle. I just want to see what happens.
Timothy,
Yep.
pay me, she says.
Here you go.
She takes it.
Stars give me strength.
Alright, let's leave.
All right. Is there anything else you want to check out down here? I mean, we do have
Whole corridor.
other corridors.
Why would you do that? I just got her to leave.
She
Because I
still
don't
has a
want to come
job.
back.
She still
We
has a
didn't
job
have to.
She still has a job to do, even if we don't open one of the
I'm just slowly
concerningly
walking my
large
friend
sarcophagi.
into the darkness.
Just going down here leads to something that will open the crypts. Do you not realize that?
Okay, I'm kind of terrified by the fact that Tim is the one making sense.
Yeah, that's honestly why Gawain hasn't gone down the hallway. Just
You know why Tim's making sense right now? Because Tim's out of healing spells, and he doesn't want to die.
yeah, fair. No, when Timothy starts making sense, it might be time to turn around.
Yeah.
No offense meant, Timothy.
No, but I don't want to have to come back in here. no offense, Piper. I've just
No, these places aren't for
it's just-
everybody.
no, and not
Timothy,
and being
Timothy?
thorough.
nope. Welcome back, Raven.
So Dominic, what are you doing?
Where'd he go?
Nothing.
Where'd he go?
He was standing next to one of the sarcophagi, but then he moved away from it.
Okay, these appear to be nothing but empty corridors, which kind of disturbs me on several levels, but okay. So there's nothing down here. So which
Can I do
is
that
weird.
perception check for hidden things again?
Yeah.
Go for it.
No, not as good.
Not as good, no. You don't really sense any purpose to any of these extra hallways. And you don't see any additional paths open to you, or even any, anything that looks like it could be a secret passage.
These make absolutely no sense.
Were
Wait a
they
moment.
just like
Where,
two totally empty corridors?
Yes.
Oh, then it was planned to expand this crypt. They're kind of like a U shape, she says?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were going to build off on the sides. That's what they were going to do, but then they didn't do it.
Okay.
That's what it seems to me. That would be normal. That's just the normal. It could have an abnormal explanation, but that's a normal explanation for it.
I will cheerfully take a normal explanation.
Timothy, didn't you just persuade us not to go back in there?
Yep, just looking around.
Make a perception check. You said you're looking around. Okay. And you don't see anything out of the ordinary. James, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Oh, great.
There
I
we go.
I want to ask the question here.
I rolled a 15.
What's your question? Dominic? You got a question?
Yeah, I'll shoot you a message.
Okay. Oh, yes. So you kind of are focusing on that, and it sort of is trying to pull you towards the center of the room.
I want to walk towards the center of the room.
Timothy! Oh no.
I would like to interfere with that.
How are you going to interfere with that? I want to know your plan on interfering with him, like how you're going to actually do that, James.
I'm gonna cast suggestion.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. Is it a saving throw? What's the saving throw for us? Wisdom? Charisma.
It's a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, make a wisdom saving throw, Dominic. The DC is 16. Oh. Okay, so he has cast suggestion upon you. You are charmed. So you can suggest a course or activity to Dominic, while he's under the influence of your spell, James.
The suggestion is going to be to stay with us and don't wander off. For the next 8 hours.
Mwah.
Jesus. Oh my god.
All right. So you feel.
That is exquisite.
Let's see. It's going to continue for the entire day. If the suggested activity can be completed in a short time, the spell ends. Okay. Well, you're
Piper, if things go weird, dart up the stairs. Come on, Vera. Let's see what's going on here with the guys.
Gawain
Because
probably
we don't know what's going on.
Gawain probably tried to reach for Dominic as he walked off into the middle of the room and froze like a deer in the headlights when he failed.
Yeah, Dominic. So you get hit with the suggestion halfway across the room towards the center. You turn around and come back, and you feel very compelled to stay with your friends.
He tried to walk into the middle of the room.
While that's happening, Dominic, you're feeling a presence kind of near your mind that desperately wants to get out. You're kind of like getting a flicker of a vision from like the inside of one of these coffins, and it's pressing its hand on the interior of the coffin. It's starting to smoke a little bit, but it looks like it's trying to resist whatever is there. But it's like, if you feel like an imploration to come and help it.
That coffin right there in the center, there's something wrong with it.
Raven, when he says that, your sword kind of like vibrates and makes a mournful sound.
What is going on? I thought we were leaving. I thought you wanted us to leave.
Can everyone else hear James's sword?
Yeah. It's kind of making like a sort of like a mournful kind of wail. It's not loud, but it's loud enough to be heard.
Your sword is crying.
Singing.
Sounds too mournful to be singing. It sounds like sobbing almost.
Hey, Piper.
Thought we were leaving. What's going on? Why is your sword crying at us? That doesn't seem right. We should leave. We should leave. We should leave. We should leave. We should not be here. What's going on? And she kind of like hunkers behind Mayhem, because Mayhem will protect her.
So, is there anything I could roll to, like, intuit that Timothy is experiencing demonic symptoms, I guess?
I guess a religion check would be good here, yeah.
Okay.
You might want to check James's sword.
12.
12. With a 12, it seems odd that he knows something so specific as there's something wrong with the coffin in the center. That seems very odd that he knows something that specific.
Timothy, how do you know something is wrong with that coffin?
Can't you sense it?
Not especially.
I find it hard to believe that another paladin can't feel that presence.
Dwayne is going to try and, like, reach out his senses to see if there's anything that Dominic could actually be feeling here.
Okay, yeah.
What would I roll for that?
Are you reaching out your magical senses, or are you reaching out, like, your actual physical senses.
He said paladin, so my paladin senses.
All right. So that would be an Arcana check.
Okay. 8.
You don't know where it's coming from, but you do feel something off. Go ahead and I don't think anybody needs to make a perception for the check for this, but you do hear a horrific growling coming from the large chamber with the coffins.
I think that's a sign it's time to go.
That's a nope. That's a nope.
Timothy?
It may be a nope, but if we've woken something up, we can't let it attack the city.
That's fair. I meant it's time to go for Piper.
No.
Yeah, well, she's got the magic sword, remember?
Oh.
If you survive this, think of the stories you can tell your children.
I want to live to have them.
If things get complicated, run for the stairs and take the griffin back to town, Piper.
Okay.
And then tell the guards what's going on. You don't even have to come into the room. We know that you don't have to.
Okay.
Okay, so which one of these is...
Dominic's gonna point to the center one.
Which,
He
that
was talking
one?
about one in the center earlier.
Arcana wouldn't do Rian any good.
Let's see, how many spell slots do I have left? I used one. Wait a minute, why do I only have 2 first level spell slots? I only used 1 spell today. I think my spell slots are an error, DM.
Sure. Let me take a look.
I've only used 1 cure wounds today.
You might have used one from the prior day, from the prior session.
Maybe. Yeah.
Because you haven't long rested. It should be.
That's true.
It should be accurate. So.
Okay, I forgot. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, what you guys doing?
I'm thinking.
All right. Okay, Timothy, you know what you're doing.
No, I don't. I'm
Lead
really
on.
torn. Part of me wants to leave. Part of me wants to open that, and part of me wants to stay with the group.
So if we go there as a group, will you feel better?
Yes.
Then... Okay, come on. Do not step on the bones.
We may not have much of a choice if this breaks into a fight.
Well, yes, but right now we can behave ourselves and not step on bones. I think perhaps bracketing it on the 4 directions?
Which coffin is it again?
The
This
one in the
one?
center.
That.
Okay.
James, what is your sword doing?
The sword is like forcefully moving your arms to position itself between you and the coffin. So it's kind of like putting your hands in a guard stance, whether you want them to be or not.
Seeing this, Gawain says, whatever that sword is, it's against whatever this is. I think we can count on it.
Okay, Tim. You'll want to open the coffin?
Gawain positions himself next to Timothy and readies himself to strike at whatever emerges from the coffin immediately, if that's a thing I can do.
Yeah, you can like ready an action to attack as soon as something emerges from the coffin. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna put my hand on the coffin lid.
You put your hand on it. And as you do so, you sort of get a image in your mind. You're real quick of like a boundless darkness. Your vision just goes completely black, but you know there's depth to it. And then you lose sense of yourself, and you feel like you're falling. And falling, and then you hit what appears to be a barren, rocky landscape. The gravity is so punishing and crushing here that it is a struggle to stand up. And as you push yourself up off the ground here, you see that there's a hand reached out in front of you to help you up. Make a wisdom saving throw for me. You look at it, and it looks like a regular human hand, and then it doesn't. It looks like a monstrous demonic hand. And you kind of shake your head, and you basically tell it no. You get yourself up the rest of the way, and you look this creature in the eyes as you struggle against this immense gravity, and it kind of smiles at you, and it says in a language that you can actually understand, in a demonic tongue, "Thanks. Needed a little help getting out. Time for you and your friends to die." And as it says that, you kind of feel yourself pulled away from there, and your consciousness slips into a place where you're falling again through this boundless gravity towards a swirling maelstrom. And at the center of it is a figure that is can only be described as darkness incarnate, and it reaches for you and says, "Oh, mighty little Corinthian, you think you're so strong, you can't be stopped. Wonder where all that power comes from for your whole race. Let's see how well you do against one of mine." And then you're back in the room. For you, not even a second has passed as you lay your hand on the coffin lid. All this happens in the span of you feeling the sensation of the cold iron on top of it. And as that occurs, the lid explodes off of the coffin here, sending a shower of bones and splinters, blood and flesh all over the five of you. Every light in the room snuffs instantly, leaving you in nothing but darkness. You hear Piper yelp, because suddenly it is dark.
Shit.
And with your unnatural senses, a Pryleader, a full-blooded warrior of Tal, of Nehemoth, emerges from the coffin. And with that, we will end our session, and we will begin here next session.
Do I get to attack it before the session ends?
Not before the session ends.
Damn.
Nope. Mother.
And bring us back to our splash.
Wait, let me see if there's someone you can
Tune
raid
in
really
next
quick.
time for our non-heroic death stream. Thank you.
I just couldn't help. I knew I was gonna explode. I knew something bad was gonna happen. I just couldn't stop myself from going in that room.
Nope. None of my team is on the line. Let's see if anyone else I know you can raid is online.
I'm going to end our broadcast section of this stream. I'm going to push us into the ending. So everybody have a good night. Hope everybody enjoyed themselves, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks or so. Yeah? Yeah, 2 weeks.